Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to another week in review. We had a busy week. It's the 14th day of 2022. And I'm just going to come with you with some COVID numbers. If you want to watch the replay, you can watch it here on YouTube. On Instagram. If you want to watch on YouTube, this video will be uploaded on YouTube. And if you're on Twitter, there'll be some clips on Twitter too. But you can watch the video, the whole video, the replay on Instagram. And you can watch the video on YouTube and make your comments there. So, also, I will be interacting in the comments section too. So, global confirmed cases are at 323,275,725 cases of COVID-19. That's the confirmed cases. The global death toll is sitting at 5,529,043. U.S. confirmed cases are at 64,897,435. And the U.S. death toll is sitting at 849,172. So just read these numbers again. We have global confirmed cases at 323,275,725. Global death toll is at 5,529,043. U.S. confirmed cases are at 64,897,435. And the U.S. death toll is at 849,172. You can check this all out at coronavirus.jhu.edu. In terms of vaccinated people, as of yesterday, we have 1,291,000,000 people vaccinated. So over 64 million of the population, 64%, of the population is vaccinated. So that is 208.6 million people vaccinated in this country. Keep in mind, we have 330 million people living in America, and only 208.6 mil is vaccinated. Wagwan Queen Lion. So with me repeating these numbers of 323,275,725 confirmed cases of COVID. Okay, let me repeat this again. So me saying all these facts again, we have 323,275,725 confirmed cases of COVID around the world. We have over 5 million people dead, 5.5 to be exact. We have 897,435 cases of COVID. So that's 64.8, almost 65 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 here in the United States. And we have nearly 1 million people dead. So the exact number of fatalities is at 849,172. The reason why I am emphasizing these numbers like this, because this is year 2. March will make it year 2 since we've been in this global pandemic. The official date of the state of emergency will be March 11th, and that will make it the 2nd year anniversary. And yet, with a national strategy finally in place since President Biden and Vice President Harris took office, we're still dealing with this. With vaccines out, with test kits about to be sent to you, you can order test kits, being sent to your home as of the 19th from the administration, we're still dealing with a large swath of people not being vaccinated. 64% of the nation is vaccinated. So 36% is not vaccinated. And we have 3. We have 3 vaccines. So the 36% that just refuse to keep yourself safe in terms of getting vaccinations or wearing a mask or practicing mitigation, you guys are fucking this up for the whole entire country. Do you know, according to the CDC, we are level 4 because there's a rate of 1 through 4 places to travel, we are the highest because we have the most cases on the globe, and our population is not even that huge. But yet, you 36% of the nation refuse to get vaccinated when the vaccine is free and available from local clinics like CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Duane Reade if you live in New York, local clinics, local hospitals, public hospitals, big hospitals, and it's ready and available, and you still want to stay home and fuck it up for the country. So my news to the 36% that refuse not to get vaccinated, you guys will eventually catch it. No matter how much you're not around people, you will catch it. Because there's like over 10 variants in this country alone. And no, it's not the Wuhan virus. It's not Kung Flu. It's COVID-19, coronavirus disease of 2019 that has morphed now into 2022. So to all of those 36% who want to use the black seed oil as a way to shield yourself from COVID, the 36% who wants to take horse doomer, I'm assuming that it is, the 36% that want to listen to Dr. Sebelius, if I'm saying the man's name right, as if he had a cure for COVID, those folks who want to listen to all of those three things, you're jeopardizing not just your life, but the lives of people around you and your whole entire community. So if you want to be an ass in the isolation box by yourself. But until then, I would advise you to wear a mask, get vaccinated, and practice mitigation, and stop fucking partying at the bar without your mask on like you safe. Motherfucker, you are not safe. You are patient zero. And I leave it as that. Like, I'm getting so sick of this shit. And it's another thing I'm getting sick of. So the SCOTUS, the conservative majority, decided not decided to block the president's federal mandate on vaccines. I see that. So, am I surprised about the SCOTUS position of blocking the president's, vaccination mandate for companies, large companies? No. Because that's where they get their money from. The six that's sitting on there, they get their money from these people. They are the real, neoliberal corporate shills. They are. And half of them enable anti-vaxxers. They are part of the reason why the 36% choose not to get vaccinated. They are part of the reason why we're still in this fucking predicament. See, the Republican Party, a.k.a. the Grand Old Party, a.k.a. the Grand Insurrectionist Party, wants to live in a pandemic. They're letting their voters, those who are in Congress, letting their voters to go out unmasked, not take your vaccinations, and go into places without a mask. Just wanting them to die. And blame it on the president, which is fucked up. It's absolutely insane. So, the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, the 6 justices on the court, you know your names. Don't make me call y'all out. You guys are slowing things up for this country. You guys not making these companies to get vaccinated and to impose vaccinations. You're fucking shit up for us. So if you don't want to be in this pandemic no more, I advise you not to block the president. But this goes back to, hold the line folks back in 2016 refused to vote for the woman. But I'm going to blast their ass towards the end because I got to read for them. In terms of, now let's get to the politics of things. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, Lee. People are stupid. No, people are really dumb, Lee. Like, people are really dumb. It's sad, but we got a lot of dumb people in this country. And I commend all the people, all the essential workers that work like at Starbucks and the supermarket, because y'all held it down during the pandemic. When I worked or, was in between jobs and trying to find a job at home, you guys were like holding shit the fuck down. So thank you. Now on to voting rights. So voting rights has been the thing. It's been one of the agendas that the Democratic Party, well, more so the Democratic Party has been pushing and is trying to push so we can secure our majorities in the House and expand in the Senate in 2022, going on and on. So the Senate, was trying to vote on, I guess, filibuster reforms and whatnot. So you got your two on the Democratic side. You got Kirsten Sinema of Arizona and Joseph Manchin III of West Virginia refusing to reform the filibuster, as if Republicans are going to work with the Democratic Party in a bipartisan way. And I'll just say this, and I'm going to say it loud and proud. And if you're offended, I don't know what to tell you. Bipartisanship is dead. Just because the infrastructure bill passed on a bipartisan way doesn't mean that bipartisanship is here to stay. It's not. No. It's not. Yes, the president needed a win that time because his approval numbers were abysmal. But bipartisanship in this day and age, third year of the the third decade of the 21st century, no. Bipartisan is dead. It's not like 1964, where you had Southern Republicans agreeing with Northern Democrats to pass the Civil Rights Act and Voting Rights Act, right? You had that. You don't have that no more. That shit has died. Bipartisanship even died when I was born. And I was born in the 80s. Because you have Ronald Reagan touting his conservative ideology and his utopia. Like, his conservative ideology was white America, fuck black America. That was his ideology. And I don't give a fuck, Ron. So, yeah. But to Kirsten Sinema and Joseph Manchin III, you guys are just horrible. We know Joseph always showed his ass, but Kirsten, you are a co-sponsor of one of these voting rights bills, and you not want to reform the filibuster shows how you are and what you are, and I cannot wait for you to be unseated in 2024. But we will make you and Joseph Manchin III irrelevant by voting for more Democrats in the Senate. There are so many races that we can win. We could probably flip between 5 to 6 seats. If we get at least 53 or 54 senators, we don't have to rely on Joseph Manchin III and Kirsten Sinema, because we know they are not going to work with our party. They are basically they're basically obstructing the president's agenda. Everybody's blaming the president for not having a spine. The president and the vice president has a spine. The problem is Kirsten Sinema and Joseph Manchin III, who still wants to work in a bipartisan way as if this is still 1964. Bitch, it ain't. And I'm going to need for Kirsten Sinema and Joseph Manchin III to get on board or get the fuck out the way. Oh, yeah, and she had the audacity. That's another thing, Kirsten Lee in cinema. Keep Joseph Manchin III and Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out your mouth. Because what you did was so messed up. And calling it a disease of friction, we can work in a bipartisan way. No, we can't. Have you read Dr. King, any of Dr. King's quotes? Because it describes you. Because Madam Secretary, the former secretary, sure enough, posted that. And it's about you. That tweet is about you and Joseph Manchin III. And I'm dead ass. It does reflect on y'all. So, Cinema, keep the black men's name out your mouth. Please and thank you. Now, these group of people have been getting blasted over Twitter. And no, I did not blast a whole group because I took issue with the main chief, and that's Miss Latasha Brown of Black Voters Matter. She put out, I guess, an op-ed, I don't know, or a tweet saying the president and the vice president don't need to come to Georgia. Is she out of her mind? The president and the vice president went to Georgia to talk about voting rights because Georgia flipped blue. The first time in 26 years since Bill Clinton ran for president. That is a huge deal. You have a president that's not overlooking anybody. And if we want people to come to the black community and not to quote unquote pander, we need to invite them in spaces where they feel uncomfortable or spaces that they've never been at before. And the president is willing to speak to people of all different racial creeds, including the African American community that delivered for him and that he made some promises to us. So folks like Latasha Brown and even my girl Sunny, saying it's performative, that's just an overreach. It is. Because you did not have the bum and Michael Richard Pence speaking to y'all. Bill Clinton didn't come to the black community like that. Maybe Hillary did when she was the first lady and the secretary of state, but not so much Bill Clinton. Even though his policies, he did stuff on policy, but in terms of going to the black community, he didn't go that much. And we all know George H.W. Bush, Little Bush, and of course Ronald Wilson Reagan did not go to the black community. No, they didn't. Not even Gerald Ford. And we know Richard Nixon hardly went. This is the first time in a while that you actually see a president since President Obama that's going to the black community, that's speaking to the black community of the importance of voting rights and many other issues. So the fact is that Latasha Brown did not want, and she's not the only one, there was other voting rights groups in Georgia did not want him to come. And they felt so stupid when they urged the senators, the two senators that's upholding the legislation, that's holding it hostage. Then y'all all flipped y'all script and had to put a joint statement together, walking back all the shit y'all was popping. Because y'all was popping some shit. But Ms. Brown, the words you used, it was dead wrong. You pretty much look like a fool when the president and the vice president urged the two senators that is holding this legislation hostage to pass the damn bill, and spoke with them and has continued to speak with them. So he has a plan and he is doing something. What your plan should be is register more voters so they can vote in the midterms, so you can keep Georgia blue and expand on the blue and actually get people to vote for Stacey Abrams. She is running for the Democratic ticket to challenge Brian Kemp. That's what you can do. You can continue to register voters. Voting rights is not every 4 years. It's every fucking day of the week. 365, 24/7 of the week. So stopping in 2020 is a no-go. And no, I'm not getting on you for going on vacation. Enjoy your life. I don't care about that. I just did not like your comments. It was dead wrong. But I'm glad that you walked most of it back, because you end up looking crazy out here. So continue to keep registering voters so you can keep Georgia blue and expand on it. I'm not here to bash anybody. People will be like, you should have went in on her. You should have called. No, I'm not going to go in on her. I'm not going to call her no Cabo Caucus. I don't give a fuck about that shit. What I do give a fuck on is you keeping your state blue. Because my cousins live in Georgia. I got cousins. And they got children. They from South Carolina. They live in Georgia because they got jobs in Georgia. And they vote blue. And they live in counties where it's was supposed to be the most turnout. So she needs to, expand on that. And quiet as a cat, 1 million people did not vote in 2020. Those 1 million end up voting for Ossoff and Warnock early last year. So you need to get the message out a lot better. Nobody in here to bash nobody. Not bashing nobody. I'm not tribal. I am me and independently me. I will continue to watch Tiffany's show. I will continue to watch Joy's show when I can. When I'm not working so late or going for my walk. But when you misuse words, you got to be held accountable. And Latasha got held accountable. And she deserved all of that smoke. But in 2022, we got to keep Georgia blue. I'm looking at the time. We got to, it's 11:58. We got to keep Georgia blue. It's important to keep Georgia blue. It's important to keep the country, expanding purple or blue. Even my state got to stay blue. Because the Republicans already seasoned on it since who was gone. They already seasoned on that shit. You got Lee Zeldin, who is a whole ass insurrectionist, who needs to be in jail, is running for governor, along with Rob Astorino's stupid ass. And then, of course, the current governor, she's running for election. And there's, the public advocate and Tom Suozzi's stupid ass, like he gonna make it there. And the AG's running for re-election for her position, which she was originally running for governor, which they say she didn't have a shot. I disagree. She almost did have a shot. The problem was you had them salty ass, white Dems that was still stuck on Como that wanted him there, and it was not, they wanted to vote for him, not going to vote for her, and tried to character assassinate her as if she wanted him out for her own good. No. That wasn't the case. But let people put out conspiracy theories because they're stupid. There's a lot of stupid people in this country. But, yeah, she's running for re-election for her seat. So New York has to stay blue. We have to stay blue. But we have to keep our majorities in the House. Keep our majorities in the Senate. Everybody talking about 20-something Democrats are retiring. How about 10 Republicans from the House is retiring? And let's not get started how many Republicans are retiring from the Senate. We got Roy Blunt, Pat Toomey, let's see, Rob Portman. They're retiring. So their seats are up for grabs. And also, what's his name is being challenged, in Wisconsin. So you have seats that are up for grabs. If we can if we can get at least about 4 to 5 seats, then we good. But people got to turn out to vote, and people got to vote down ballot. You can't just vote for the top of the ticket and just leave. Or those who are voting for the top of the ticket Democratic, but you voting for Republicans, why are you voting for a party that has denied you so many things time and time again? I don't get it. You're voting against your own interests when you voted for people that denied you the American Rescue Plan with your stimulus checks, the child tax credit, which you call thingamajig, also vaccinations to your arm, infrastructure for your place, and many more, and voted against the Voting Rights Act and the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act and the Build Back Better agenda. Like, really? Y'all vote for Republicans? Why? And it's no shade, but why are you going to vote for Republicans today when they deny you everything? Everything that you need to survive? Let me know, because I don't know. But I know some people don't like to say midterms, but these elections are important. These House elections and these Senate elections. And in terms of the Pennsylvania election, of course, I love Malcolm Kenyatta. I love him. I think he's a fighter. I think he's a strong-willed man. He was a strong surrogate for the president and the vice president. And the vice president when she was a candidate. And then when she wasn't a candidate no more, he championed for the president. He spoke at the DNC. He was a light of fresh air. But I know there's some people that's supporting Conor Lamb, and I understand. You know, we all don't have the same candidates that we support. But to think about it, I don't see Conor Lamb on Front Street like that. But if he wins, that'll be good too. But I love Malcolm Kenyatta. That's number one. That's the one who I see, because he been through shit, almost same shit I've been through, and other people in the hood I know been through. But they say Conor Lamb is good. He does vote with his party a lot. So they say he's good. So if he wins, that's fine. Long as it's not Fetterman. But my first choice is always going to be Malcolm Kenyatta. Because that's a fighter. That's a fighter. And people like, oh, well, you're not giving Conor Lamb a chance. I don't care. I mean, I don't have no issues with him. It's just the fact that Malcolm Kenyatta was always the person that I looked to that fight for people as a state legislator. Even though Conor Lamb currently serves in Congress right now, and his seat may be up for grabs. Hopefully no Republican take his seat. But who knows? But he's a fighter for his constituents, and so as Malcolm Kenyatta. So may the best man win. And that's how I look at it. But in terms of reading the shit out of people, which it's about to go down, do something Twitter has got on my nerves for time and time again. But those ones with the waves in their bios, the hashtags, they've been showing their ass a lot. You expect a lot of antics and bullshit and performative shit from progressives, which they still do that shit. But then you got these ones with the waves in there. Those fake allies, because most of them are. Not all, but you got a good majority that are fake ass allies who wants to retweet your shit and follow them and follow me back resistor. But the minute you criticize one of their faves, they're ready to come at you all kinds of ways. So I would just like to say to that do something Twitter, to those resistor wave people, I am not here for your amusement. I am not here to retweet half of your shit. I am not here to sit down and educate you. I'm here to speak the facts and speak the truth from my opinion with cited sources. So if you have a problem, and I say this time and time again, if you have a problem with the content of what I say, then you can unfollow, mute, and block me. Because I am not here to hold your hand. That is not me. And that's the truth. Now, in terms of the progressives, so you know they are pearl clutching. So Madam Secretary Hillary Clinton tweeted a quote from the late Dr. Martin Luther King. And it's a tweet that is relevant for, of Mr. Manchin and Miss Cinema. Madam Secretary said this. MLK Jr. said, "I had hoped that the white moderate would understand that law and order exists for the purpose of establishing justice, and then when they fail in this purpose, they become the dangerously structured dams that block the flow of social progress." This is a subtweet. And you know what? She's right. She's calling out Cinema, Manchin, and others that are hiding behind them. But leave it to the progressives. The Rose Twitter Caucus, to basically just quote tweet her by trolling her and saying his comment applies to her. First of all, Hillary Clinton is not a fucking moderate nor a motherfucking centrist. She never, ever categorized, oh my God. I am like so messing up words. So, oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, progressives out here. The progressives. The Bernie bros. The Warrenistas. Attacking Hillary Clinton for that subtweet. Saying MLK Jr. was talking about her. First of all, Hillary Clinton is not a motherfucking moderate nor a motherfucking centrist. She never labeled herself as such. She never labeled herself. Not even at all. But leave it to the progressive king who branded himself as progressive, Bernie Sanders, to label her as a neoliberal corporate shill. And you motherfuckers ran with that shit time and time again. Despicable. But to you quote unquote progressives out there that are mad about the former Secretary of State and the former 2016 presidential nominee on the Democratic side for tweeting a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King criticizing the moderates in the Democratic Party upholding or holding hostage of the voting rights bill, can eat one. Because truth to be told, your progressive king only passed 3 bills. He's been in the Senate for 31 years. I am almost 36. He's been in there since I was 4.5 going on 5. He basically aged in there, almost nearly crow in there, made money off the fucking Senate, quiet as a cat. He got 3 homes. Does Hillary Clinton has 3 homes? No, she has 1 in upstate. Does the president have 3 homes? No, he has 1 in Delaware. The vice president don't have, I think she sold her house. The only one that didn't sell shit was Bernard Sanders of South Brooklyn, who now lives in lily white ass Vermont. So when y'all talk that shit about Secretary Clinton saying she's a neoliberal corporate show and she's just like those white moderates Martin Luther King talk about, no, he's like, no. That tweet was for the ones in the freaking Senate, and that tweet is for Bernie Sanders of South Brooklyn. That's for him. Like, truth to be told, to these progressives, yes, the progressive, because it's time to address them. So the full address on, because I know I've been rambling. The progressives of the 21st century, those who are Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren supporters that are trolling the former secretary of tweeting a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King criticizing Kristen Lee Sinema and Joe Manchin. You guys need to look at yourselves in the mirror, because y'all supporting people. Y'all supporting people who cosplaying as progressives, but one who has a history being a conservative and was a staunch Reagan conservative and don't understand why she was one when she was asked about her past positions. And the other, let's not get started on the other, how he voted against the Brady Bill 5 fucking times. Took money from the NRA to be elected as mayor of Burlington. Let's not go there. If you really want to go there, let's go there. But until then, if you don't want to tangle with this one, I advise you to leave the former Secretary of State, the former presidential nominee of 2016, leave her the fuck alone. Because she is not the moderate that Martin Luther King was talking about. She's not even a fucking moderate nor a fucking centrist. So cut the shit. Like, I'm so sick of them. Bernie Sanders only passed 3 bills. He drafted 422 bills within 32 years, and 3 only became law, and 2 were renaming post offices in Vermont. He was a co-sponsor of John McCain's bills, who was a staunch Reagan conservative. Really? And he's a progressive? If anybody's more progressive than him, it's the president and the vice president and even Hillary Clinton. And Albert Gore. And John Kerry. Those are your progressives right there. Because it's damn sure it ain't Elizabeth Ann Warren nor Bernard Sanders. Okay? It's not them. So please, spare me the bullshit. Yep, the rightful 45 lead. That's right. Yep. 422. 422. But, yep, and he Christopher Columbus. Bernie Sanders Christopher Columbus, the late John E. Conyers Medicare for All bill. And Christopher Columbus, Hillary Clinton's universal health care proposal. So these quote-unquote progressives are basically Christopher Columbusing people's policies. Those same quote-unquote neoliberal corporate shell people, they Christopher Columbusing their policies. That's why they get the quotes on progressives. That's why they will continue to always go through shit. Besides the fact being assholes on the internet, they're Christopher Columbusing people's bills and strategies. They're not progressive. Not at all. But yeah, I digress. But I would like to say is we have to remain vigilant and we got to vote. Like our lives depend on it. Oh yeah, and block President Biden. Oh yeah, President Obama's and Vice President Biden's nominee for the postal board. Yeah. Because one was a Republican. But yet, we got to remain vigilant to make Mr. Manchin and Miss Sinema irrelevant. We got to vote. And that is that. So until then, you guys have a lovely weekend. And I'll see you next weekend. And you can watch on the replay here or watch on YouTube. Good night.